Good morning. Latest news from Ukraine. Ukrainian military forces will receive the Panzerfaust 3 to help the country resist Russian attacks. If later actually used, then the weapon will meet the enemy who caused it to be made. The enemy is the T-72 tank, which Russia uses a lot in its aggression. Ukrainian military forces have destroyed many Russian tanks using the Panzerfaust 3, and have destroyed dozens of columns of Russian vehicles with Javelin anti-armor missiles and next-generation light, NLAW, anti-tank guns. The Panzerfaust 3 is an anti-tank rocket launcher often referred to simply as PZF-3//. The name Panzerfaust has been used by the Germans to name their anti-tank rocket launchers since World War II. Development of the PZF-3 began in 1978 with the aim of defeating the newest battle tanks T-72 and T-80. At the time of its introduction, the Panzerfaust 3 was one of the highest performing weapons in its class. The enhanced version of the Panzerfaust 3 is still one of the most capable anti-tank rocket launchers in the world today. The latter was used by Ukraine against Russia during the war. This weapon is used by Ukrainian troops. Ukrainian special forces used the Panzerfaust 3 gun, which proved capable of destroying many Russian tanks and other armored vehicles. The barrel of the launch tube has a caliber of 60 mm, while the large rocket has a caliber of 110 mm. Such a design was chosen because it was possible to upgrade weapons simply by designing larger rockets. In this case, there is no need to redesign the entire launcher to accommodate the new rocket. The basic DM-12A1 rocket has a high explosive anti-tank, heat, multipurpose warhead. Rockets can be used against tanks, armored vehicles and structures. The warhead is capable of penetrating 800 mm of armor. This weapon has a 2.5x magnification optical scope that has a visibility of 400 meters. There is no backup view for emergency use. However, this weapon can be installed with the addition of NSA-80 night vision. The Ukrainian military should be grateful to the Panzerfaust 3, which has destroyed a lot of military equipment of the Russian troops. The Panzerfaust 3 was able to penetrate the front armor of the Russian 72 tanks and even made a hole in the tower. Furthermore, the warhead can be easily activated to produce a high explosive squash head effect by not extending the probe. This mode is used to attack buildings and heavy and light armored vehicles. It can also be used through walls to allow forced entry into buildings. The length of the launcher in firing mode is 1.35 meters with the probe extended and 1.23 meters with the probe retracted. The Panzerfaust 3 has a countermass that virtually eliminates backblast. This feature was previously used on armbrust. This makes it possible to fire weapons at buildings and other confined spaces. All Panzerfaust 3 variants have an effective range of 300 meters against moving targets and 400 meters against stationary targets. At a distance of 300 meters, this weapon has a 90% attack probability against tanks. At 200 meters, the chance of this hit increases to 95%. Effective range can be extended by equipping the Dynarange fire control unit. With this unit installed, the Panzerfaust 3 has an effective range of 600 meters against moving targets. The maximum range is 920 meters. Interestingly, this Panzerfaust 3 can be used against targets that are only 15 meters away. Weapons are also known to be quite easy to use.